Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Cordell Stokes. I'm the Central Neighborhood Project Director with Ohio Means Jobs City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County. I want to welcome all of you to today's customized event that is not your normal job fair. We have a very specific, targeted interest in each of you through Ohio Means Jobs City of Cleveland that you'll learn about, Cleveland Builds, which is your entry point into the union trades. And then, of course, we have ODOT, Ohio Department of Transportation. They're running a little bit behind, but they have multiple opportunities from CDLs and onward. With that being said, today's event is going to allow you to hear presentations by each of the three entities in order to better understand exactly, once we conclude the presentations, which will not be long, and you go before the various representatives, to be able to deal with your own personal career goals and objectives. This is a safe environment geared strictly to not pushing you out of the door quickly, but giving you the quality time to deal with each individual on a personal time and personal basis. With that being said, everywhere that we go, Ohio Means Jobs, to work with the entities I just aforementioned, one of the things that we try to do is partner with critical partners, elected officials, and community-based organizations. Before I introduce the first speaker, who is one of our first hosts of three, I want to give special recognition to Jessica Williams, Executive Assistant to Councilman Richard Starr, right here from Ward 5, for all the work and coordination efforts she provides in support of me and all of the entities here today. The first host, the most critical in order for us to be able to have an environment of safety, quality, and ability to do exactly what I just stated earlier, personalizing your career track. Reverend C.J. Matthews, please give him a welcome.
Good evening. On behalf of my wife and my son, we are certainly excited to have you here. We're always excited when our council person of Ward 5 is here, Councilman Richard Starr. We're also excited to have our county council president here today, and Pernell Jones, as well as our other presenters and guests. Ohio Means Jobs has established themselves as a critical organization in our community as we look to forward our careers, develop jobs, enter the trades, and do meaningful things that we might take care of ourselves and our families. So again, on behalf of Mount Sinai Friendship United, our connected platforms, my wife and my son, we welcome you. May God bless you. And whatever your desire is towards a job today, I pray that it is fulfilled. Bless you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Matthews, and to the entire family at Mount Sinai. Your second host is an individual that has been very critical to this ward, Ward 5 in particular. He's also become very critical to all of the efforts to develop the policy and legislative changes that will work to the benefit of this community and throughout the entire city. Very serious young man who is from the community. When I say from the community, right out the projects. Went on to get all his degrees, ready to roll. He's become an invaluable partner, and that person is Councilman Richard Starr, Councilman Ward 5.
How y'all doing? We gotta wake up, How y'all doing? Right now. So before I get into just welcoming everyone, I do have a slogan. We're gonna get that money. We're gonna get some money, all right? That is my slogan. When you see me, we're gonna get some money. That is the slogan that I use because it has been far too long that we haven't had the opportunities to be able to get our foot in the door into meaningful opportunities of good jobs. So today we are able to be here. I definitely want to thank Pastor Reverend Matthews for always opening his doors anytime we call it in the community. Thank you to my counterpart as well over at the county council president, Pernell Jones, for all the work that he do. Whenever we talk about the human element and the services, he always connects us to different resources that the county have. So shout out to those two individuals for always rolling up their sleeve to tag team and collaborate to work together. All right? So tonight was just an opportunity for us to come together and find out what's available, how can we get connected to these jobs, what do we need to do, what do we have to get on track, what apprenticeship programs look like, because those are the most important thing. I know Mr. Stokes mentioned the fact that I went to school and got a couple degrees, but it was a time when I didn't have my degrees, and I was working from an entry level and working my way up and throughout different jobs. So I understand what it takes to be able to make an honest living, and I understand what we need to do. So as an elected official and as a member of Cleveland City Council, Ward 5, the greatest ward there is ever created, I wanted to make sure that we have these opportunities, and we're going to continue to bring these into the community so we can be able to take advantage of these job opportunities. So please do not be shy. Please do not be nervous. Open yourself up. Make sure you talk to an individual at the table and get connected, because we're going to get this money. You hear me? All right. Now I would like to introduce our county council president, Ward 5 resident, Mr. Pernell Jones.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right. Well, again, I am County Council President Pernell Jones, Jr. But many of you may know me from my family, from my funeral home, the Pernell Jones and Sons Funeral Home on Cedar Avenue, just 2 blocks from here, down 71st Street. We have, Richard, I, and other elected officials, we provided the funding for what's going on here today. I'm very proud of everything that we have worked to put together that you might take advantage of and have an opportunity for training, for jobs. And I encourage you to call my office. I'll leave my number here so that you can reach me. We provide here's what we do at the county. We do job creation, economic development, but we also do human development, human services, healthy human services. You name a vulnerable person in this community, whether the poor, someone struggling with drugs, alcohol, mental health, restored citizens coming back in this community, you name a vulnerable population, the county is doing something. I am working to do something to put you in a position to be successful, to be a part of this economy again. So everything we're doing here today, the job creation, the job opportunity is for your benefit. We want you to be able to take advantage of it. But I want to take a moment and share something different with you. I said I'm a funeral director. I'm a business owner. And jobs are vital, but there's another opportunity, an opportunity to make profit. For me, that's all I've known. I didn't have a job. I had one job. I worked at Burlington Coat Factory back out of high school. After that, I've been in the funeral home my entire life. So there's a difference. My experience has been one where you make a profit. And a profit is something anyone can make. There's no barriers to it. I don't care what you got on your record, none of that. There's no barrier to selling a hamburger or whatever it might be. And I just want to take a moment and share that with you. And one area, and I got an opportunity to share this with Reverend Matthews and close to 1,000 ministers across YouTube when it came to housing. And I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I do want to share this. When the county works with the churches, I and my colleagues, we move money to create the food pantries. $1 million is what we approve every year to give the food taxpayer provided to the Cleveland Food Bank. The churches, a great number of churches come together, they're volunteer ministries, they come to the food bank, get the food, bring it back to their church, and distribute it right here in the community. As a partnership between the church and the county that's not politicized, it's just good service to the community. Well, the county does more than provide food. We have the ability to give technical support to fix up a house. I challenge the churches to say, look around your property, and if you see a vacant, vandalized house, partner with the county. We'll help you fix up one house, and help revitalize our community. That's critical because there's nobody else coming to help us. You look on the east side of Cleveland, East Cleveland, the other communities, it's not going to change until we change it. And if you fix up a property, it gives you wealth. It gives you profit. And if housing is of a concern, if you ever thought about more than just a job, and you need this because you can get skill set right here that can help you towards everything I'm talking about. But if you consider that, you not only can provide housing for yourself, you can provide housing for someone else. And I'm gonna give you a vision. I don't care what your financial situation is. You can start from ground zero and learn the tools to be able to buy a piece of property. Now imagine if you were to buy a house out in the suburbs and the house might be worth $100,000. You got your name on that deed and it belongs to you and you renting it out. And in 30 years they pay it off. It belongs to you, it belongs to you and you got it free and clear. If you get your name on 10 houses, each one worth $100,000, in 30 years you'd be worth $1 million. That's the type of vision people have, and they do it right here in Cleveland, east side of Cleveland, all over. Their houses, you do that to have that type of wealth. That's the American dream, a house with a white picket fence. The county actually can give the technical support to anybody to do those type of things. So I throw that out there just just to whet your appetite, so to speak, to think about what you can have through the process going on here, that we're looking to offer here, and all that the county has to provide. There are many other resources that we have to continue to help you to be successful. And again, I'm gonna leave my number here. Feel free to call me. I can connect you to everything that we do. You can do it through Cordell as well, but I want you to have my number as well. So again, thank you for listening. Cordell, thank you for all you've done. I can't say enough about you. And Reverend C.J. Matthews, again, for all you've done, and again, in hosting at the very least today. Again, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, County Council President. Just as a quick recap, we have some individuals that just came in. Again, this is all about employment and training opportunities. Ohio means jobs. Cleveland builds, which directly leads into the union trades. Ohio Department of Transportation. These are quick presentations that are going to lead you into the opportunity to have interface at your convenience and at the time level you need with each of these representatives. Getting into the core of the presentations today, the first representative. How many people have heard of Ohio Department of Transportation?
I call it every day.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to make a big mark here in Ward 5. How many people know that there are a lot of opportunities at Ohio Department of Transportation? Not many. How many people know that there could be financing for you to pursue things like CDL through Ohio Department of Transportation? All right, well, this is why we're doing this throughout the entire city with the various elected officials in order to educate you about what is available. First presenter will be Mark Alexander, one of the HR representatives from Ohio Department of Transportation. Please welcome Mark.
How you doing, y'all? Again, my name is Mark Alexander, representative on Ohio Department of Transportation. And I'm gonna give y'all a little rundown of what we do. It's a lot of opportunity here. So basically, we want capable, like people who are ready to work every single day and come here. So a rundown of what we do during the summertime, we do all highway work. So that's guardrail repair, potholes, sign repair, litter pickup, and anything that you could think of on a highway. And we do that during the summertime, and during the wintertime, we plow snow on the highways, not on the streets, just the highway. And we give a lot of people opportunity, no matter what your background is or where you come from. We want everybody to come in. It doesn't matter about felonies. We want everybody. So what we do, we pursue people through our highway maintenance program, which is basically a apprenticeship. And we give people their CDLs for free, Class A and Class B. And to break down what Class A and Class B are, Class A, that's with huge tractor trailers. And on Class B, those are with dump trucks, the things that we use during the winter time. So you guys will be getting both of those for free of charge, no type of money. And you could go as many times as you will want. Even if you fail once or twice, we'll still give you the opportunity to do as many times that you can. And basically, like I said, we have good benefits, eye, dental, vision, anything that we could think of, that you could think of, we have it. Like I said, we're looking for people, we're desperate. We need people in for these jobs, we're willing to pay. And I would love to see some of you guys here. Thank you very much.
Let's get that money. As Councilman Starr says, all what we're here for is about getting some money. Nothing social oriented. It's all about getting yourself prepared or moving and transitioning. So thank you very much, Mark. The second individual, I want you to understand that you have the council president who, as I stated about Councilman Starr, comes from this community, has a long legacy within his family, Purnell Jones Funeral Home. But in his representation, coming out of this same area of District 8, which is Ward 5 and others, you're talking about an individual who is now county council president. Nothing goes down legislatively until he signs off. So the individual I'm going to bring up to you now represents Cleveland Builds. The union trades has made transitions over time. It was always thought of as a place maybe people like looking like me and you don't go into because of its history. But right now they have to. The other city council president, Blaine Griffin, and his other leadership, such as Councilman Richard Starr, passed an unprecedented community benefits agreement to ensure developers and other entities that want to do business in Cleveland have to do certain standards of inclusion that you already see with the affirmative action situation at the Supreme Court. It's chipping away every day. We're not here in Cleveland because of people such as Richard Starr, Purnell Jones, Blaine Griffin, providing the leadership. But here it is, I want you to understand, this is not no show for comedy, because the individual I'm bringing up to you representing Cleveland Builds, they have a responsibility, a fixed responsibility, of having received funds approved by the individuals I aforementioned, and the ability to meet goals of Cleveland residents to get into the trades. Now, it's an oxymoron in a sense, because as many of you are in here, it doesn't mean all y'all going to get into trades. This is a start. They still have goals. So put them to it. You know, make sure that if you do not get into a trade and you want to, it's for damn sure a good reason that you didn't make the cut. With that being said, a very good friend of mine out of East Cleveland, who I've been working with over a year doing these same forums around the county, in particular with various mayors, now coming into the city, Alfred Fenderson, who we lovingly call AC, one of the directors of Cleveland Builds.
How's everybody doing? So I'm AC, Director of Training and Placement with Cleveland Builds. I am from this neighborhood, eventually moved to East Cleveland. What Cleveland Builds is basically a pre-apprenticeship program that helps people get into the union trades. I got into the union trades about 25 years ago, and it was a struggle. So with that being said, what I had to do was show up to work every day, work hard, be willing to learn. As long as I was capable to do that, I could go anywhere. I never thought that I'd be a director of training and placement, and sort of piggyback off of what Mr. Jones said. When you get into those union trades, you're talking about great starting wages. Most of the starting wages are at $20 an hour, to where within 4 years, you're making up to $35, $40 an hour. Free healthcare. I've never paid for healthcare. I've had vacation checks every year, pension, annuity, and this is what these union jobs offer. But to piggyback off of what Mr. Jones said, You can go into those union trades, become that carpenter, buy that first home, rehab that first home, sell that first home, buy 2 more homes, right? What I encourage for us is to build a network. You may want to be a carpenter. You may want to be an electrician. You may want to be a plumber. Build that network. That's the best way we can revitalize our neighborhoods. Instead of spending the money out, we keep the money within our neighborhoods, rebuild it, and help someone else get there also. So the only thing I ask for with me as director at Cleveland Builds, when I look out and I talk to us, I say, you owe me one thing. You don't owe me a beer. You don't owe me a thank you. What you owe me is to reach back and grab another one of us and help them get to the same place of where you are. So with that being said, I look forward to talking to each and every last one of you. What I can say is the trades, it really did change my life. I took a long vacation, came home, got into the trades. Felonies don't stop you. Misdemeanors don't stop you. It don't stop you. I work through everything. For me, when I look at obstacles, either I'm gonna go over it, I'm gonna go through it, or I'm gonna go around it. But I'm gonna get to my destination of where I wanna get to. And that's the only thing I'm asking you to do. You're gonna get frustrated, just don't give up. Just don't give up. Stay in contact with me. If any of you do decide to get into the union trades, stay in contact with me. Last year I was able to get 120 people placed, and I still talk to about 120 people. So my phone does not stop ringing. So I look forward to talking to every last one of you, and let's have a good evening and let's network.
Thank you very much, AC. Last presentation is my company, which in my mind is the first start of almost like a safety blanket, in the sense that we have federal dollars for employment and training that you never have to pay back. There's tuition opportunities. There's, ability to support you in all the concepts necessary for you to be viable, to even go out and compete for employment. It's a great foundation to always, even if you got into trades or you got with ODOT, you get laid off, we're there for you. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up another very good friend who I've been working with over the last couple of years, East Cleveland native. I forgot about you being up the way for a minute before you got to EC, but is an East Cleveland native and someone who is very knowledgeable. He is considered what's called a community development specialist. These are the individuals that can take the quality time to actually put you in the position of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. My great ambassadors, Louis Moore, Donald Boyd, Krishandra Matthews, those are the individuals that support me by being visible in the community. They know the community in and out. The only difference between them and Greg is that this is who you're going to, him and his other colleagues are the staff that will provide the critical core services to make you reach your goals. With that being said, please welcome Greg Broadwater.
How's everybody doing tonight? Thank y'all for having me. Like Mr. Stokes said, I'm Greg Broadwater. I'm a community development specialist with Ohio Means Jobs. And I'm gonna give you a brief overview of all the types of services you can find down at 1910 Carnegie, our main office location, and at different places out in the community where my fellow CDSs work. So Ohio Means Jobs is a group of organizations under the guidance of the state of Ohio, and that provides services to people who are either looking for better jobs, trying to break into the workforce period, or who are interested in getting some federal funding that they do not have to pay back to go back to school and either get a degree or get some certifications. Starting from the beginning, we have a resource center housed at 1910 Carnegie that's open to the public. You do not have to do intake and registration in order to use it. And at that resource center, there's a computer and internet access, a copier, scanner, fax and phone, and information about different resource fairs and job fairs in the community that's available to the public anytime we are open, which is typically 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. There are two main departments at Ohio Means Jobs: Job Seeker Services and Career Services, and then our Business Services team. On our Job Seekers team, it's made up of about 3 or 4 different types of positions. You have your intake specialists, which are the first people you see. They collect your documents, build your profile, make you eligible for our services. Then you have your talent developers. They're specifically for people who are interested in getting into the workforce, finding a better job, or switching career paths. Then you have your training specialists. They collect everything they need to take you through the process to get federal funding to go back to school. And then you have community development specialists as well. They take all the services that you can find down at 1910 and bring them to different locations in the community as a one-stop shop. Different libraries, different community centers, different treatment facilities, so that you have an easier route to gain access to our services and don't always have to come all the way downtown. It's important to remember, if you're looking for job search assistance, that we're not a placement agency. We can't give you a job, but we give you and help teach you every skill you need in order to find a better job yourself. We don't give you fish, we teach you how to fish so that you can find yourself in a better career path with or without us after you receive some of the guidance we can give you. We collect a lot of personal information from you. So it's important for me to acknowledge the fact that we do everything we can to keep your information secure, and we have an IT department that's specifically put in place to make sure none of your information gets compromised. So the type of job search assistance we can provide people is exploring different vocations, resume preparation and assistance, the development of a specific and individualized job plan, job development, referrals to specific openings and recruitment events, and then invitations to the type of resource fairs that we house either at 1910 Carnegie or at different sites throughout the community. And then for those interested in receiving federal funding to go back to school, we typically cap the federal dollars that we can provide everyone at about $6,000 per program. As long as you fall under certain federal income guidelines that's based on your house size, everyone who is over the age of 18, eligible to work in the country, and if you're a male, registered for the Selective Service, is eligible to receive that $6,000 in order to go back to school and get a certification or finish out your degree. Now, to wrap up my presentation, I'm going to talk about 3 specific job sectors where that cap is a bit higher because research has shown these fields have exponential growth opportunities. They start off at high-paying wages, and the job markets in these specific sectors are expected to grow more than many of the other ones that exist in the job force today. The first one is information technology. We work with about 6 different schools where we can send you to school, get you a certification in the IT sector, and a lot of those careers start off between $45,000 and $60,000 a year as soon as you graduate the certification program. The next one is healthcare. So if you know anyone interested in becoming an STNA, an LPN, or RN, we can provide them with funds in order to go to school and get those degrees. And then the last one is manufacturing. We have a wonderful partnership with an organization called Magnet that not only gives you the type of certifications to be trained on specific machines, but also provides you with excellent job placement after you complete the program, and it only takes about 4 weeks. And you make a living wage while you're in the program. If you know anyone who owns a business, we have a team that is specifically for the different employers in the area who are actively reaching out to find out what job openings they have so that we can matchmake between those openings and the job seekers that come through our doors. They also provide services for any businesses about to close so that their employees can have a path forward and don't have to worry about the future. We have a specific department that helps out our military veterans. We have equal access services, so we try to make sure that no matter what you are suffering from or what you have been through in your life, that we have services for you so that we can get you the help you need to get on the career path you're looking for. We have a Young Adults Resource Center in our basement that helps anyone from 17 to 24 and provides them with the same type of services that are over the age of 18 adults receive. And then finally, we work with AARP to provide a specific type of workforce program for people over the age of 55 so they can earn an additional income to supplement their benefits without getting those benefits cut off. If you have any other questions for me, I'll be at that table in the back. Thank you for your time.
Okay, we're at the conclusion of all the presentations. Again, I want to say thank you very much to Reverend Matthews as one of our primary hosts for the location, and our two elected hosts, County Councilman, County Council President Pernell Jones and Councilman Richard Starr, and all of the various presenters from Ohio Department of Transportation, Cleveland Builds, and of course, Ohio Means Jobs. At this juncture, I'm going to ask the providers to please go to your tables. And then you let them settle in for a quick second. Again, refreshments, restrooms, women to the right, men to the left. I want to thank TV 20 for coming out to showcase what we have started, starting with Councilman Richard Starr and Pernell Jones, that we will be going throughout the city with other elected representatives. With that being said, from here, the program has concluded. This is your night. Feel free to entertain each of the vendors of choice. Have a great evening, you guys.